While traveling off-planet, my comms crackled to life with a message tagged as Entry 4925B. An automated voice demanded I identify myself. I complied, and the response was chillingly brief. It informed me I was not alone. Then the transmission severed as abruptly as it began. Appended to the end of the broadcast were coordinates on the far side of the planet I had just departed. I wasn't entirely sure what to do, but I needed answers. I adjusted my trajectory, deciding to investigate the signal's origin. When I arrived at the location, there was nothing visible but the desolate landscape. A message started blinking on my analysis visor, painting a waypoint that guided me toward the signal's source. After walking for some time, the sun set and darkness swallowed the terrain, leaving only the multitude of stars above, a sight that still never fails to amaze me. I eventually came across a flattened outcropping holding damaged machinery and some scattered, rusted hardware. I activated the visor again, which promptly chimed that the target was in range and finalized the location sequence. High above, futuristic jets tore through the atmosphere, their engines roaring. I wondered if the pilots even cared or knew that I existed down here. Where could they be going? The scanner directed me straight to the central piece of machinery. The device was engulfed in flames, but with the help of my suit's hazard shielding, I was able to access a glowing terminal panel. It displayed a fragmented log. Entry number 4925C. No fuel in. Failed to reach station. Hazard protection. Low. No choice but to. Underground. Deployed base computer. In addition to this log entry, the terminal downloaded encrypted blueprints for a base computer and a terrain manipulator directly into my suit's archives. I was still puzzled about where that initial comms message came from and how it found me, but I was grateful it did. I could only hope that the person who left this log was able to find safety and survive. My time on this planet had come to an end. I needed more answers, and I wasn't going to find them here. I launched my ship, breaking through the atmosphere and returning to the vast expanse of space. From orbit, the true scale of the system revealed itself. I could see additional planets that had been hidden from the surface, alongside a beautiful asteroid field, glittering with massive ice crystals floating in the void above Necastr C44. My ship's scanner swept the area, identifying the celestial bodies, categorizing their biomes, and listing their primary resources. Back in my home galaxy, none of the planets aside from Earth were hospitable. I could only hope I hadn't just abandoned the single habitable rock in this entire system. My immediate options were a dusty moon, a desert planet, or a molten planet. I decided the dusty moon would likely be the safest and most stable environment to land, and I set a course. After piercing the atmosphere, I set my ship down on a wide, flat plateau and stepped out. The orbital scan had categorized the moon simply as dusty, but the descent revealed a rugged, vibrant expanse rather than a lifeless wasteland. Large, plateaued mountains littered the rocky terrain, cutting through stretches of sand dotted with towering cacti and twisted, hardy trees that had adapted to the harsh environment. The daytime temperatures hovered around 135 degrees Fahrenheit, but my exosuit easily regulated the heat, keeping me comfortable as I took in the surroundings. High in the hazy sky, the constant contrails of ships flying overhead suggested this solar system was actually teeming with life. Yet, I had yet to find a single civilization on the surface. There had to be hubs or cities where all these ships were coming from and going to. Realizing this was the second habitable world I had set foot on, I began to suspect that life was abundant in this system. While taking a moment to eat, I studied the unique, almost familiar fauna and flora in the area. I noted the towering, ribbed succulents dominating the sandy ridges. reaching several meters into the arid air, their thick, emerald green stalks clustered together like fleshy pillars. Despite the baking climate, delicate pink blossoms crowned the tips of their sweeping arms, offering a stark, beautiful contrast to the unforgiving environment. A particularly strange specimen caught my eye, a stout, bulbous tree that looked more animal than plant. Its swollen trunk was covered in a hypnotic, reptilian pattern of overlapping scales in earthy oranges and olive greens. Instead of standard foliage, the twisted, stubby branches terminated in stiff, deep crimson fronds, perfectly adapted to absorb the relentless solar radiation without losing a single drop of moisture. Providing rare, sweeping patches of shade, colossal canopy trees stretched high above the rocky outcrops. Their massive trunks were heavily grooved and twisted, resembling thick cables of petrified muscle weaving upward. At their summits, they spread into wide, flat canopies composed of delicate, pale violet leaves that shimmered and rustled even in the dead, windless heat of the afternoon. There were many other plants of a wondrous nature, far too many for me to catalog at this point, alongside resilient animals that blew my mind with their ability to thrive here. As the sun began to set, the view changed completely. It appeared I was on a moon that was tidally locked with Necastr C44. Dominating the sky, Necastr C44 was a beautiful peach color during the day, but at night, the planet shifted into a radiant purple, framed by its bright, beige-colored rings. I spent the rest of the night sleeping in the ship. It had been days since I was able to get proper rest. It took that long for the survival adrenaline to finally wear off, leaving me unable to keep my eyes open a second longer. Waking up fresh the next morning, I decided it was time to install the terrain manipulator and construct the base computer. The traveler who left those logs seemed to want someone to have them, and I needed to learn how to survive. According to what I had learned back at the previous outpost, my equipment handled these tasks differently. The terrain manipulator was an internal hardware modification for the multi-tool, while the base computer was an external deployment created by the multi-tool's construction beam using raw data from my exosuit. Following the terminal's blueprints, I fed synthesized carbon nanotubes and volatile dihydrogen jelly directly into the tool's secondary chamber. The chassis grew burning hot in my hands as the internal fabricator integrated the components, rewriting the tool's focal array. When I squeezed the trigger, it didn't fire a destructive mining laser. Instead, a localized gravity warp opened up, silently dissolving a massive chunk of a nearby limestone cliff face and pulling the raw elements straight into my suit's containment filters. To build a base computer, I needed chromatic metal. I located a shimmering vein of copper protruding from the ground and gobbled it all up with the new terrain manipulator. After running the raw copper through a localized portable refiner, I had what I needed. My exosuit uploaded the structural data to my visor, projecting a flickering green holographic outline onto the dusty earth in front of me. I raised the multi-tool, switching it to fabrication mode. A steady, blinding beam of compressed particle energy shot from the barrel, tracing the hologram. I watched as the highly refined metal materialized out of thin air, layers of raw atomic matter stitching together in seconds until the heavy, tri-pedal computer snapped into reality, its terminal screens humming to life. I sat there for a minute, simply amazed at the technology. Nothing on Earth even came close to this. To fabricate something out of thin air was entirely beyond my comprehension. I tapped the main screen of the base computer, and a message appeared. Searching cartographic archives. A moment later, it updated. Universal Archive search reveals no prior claims on this site. Claim site. Seeing no reason not to secure the area, I pressed the prompt to claim it. Instantly, a localized broadcast blasted out in every direction, and the computer's synthesized voice declared, "Base computer online." I accessed the display screen again and received a new prompt. Accessing log from previous user. Entry number 4925D follows. Storms sweeping across, but construction supplies low. Depositing shelter plans while need to. Back soon. Below the text was an option to extract plans. I clicked it, receiving a flood of schematics for various timber construction parts and a floral decoration container. The lingering shadow of this previous traveler seemed to be guiding me to build a home, a true base of operations. But considering my options, I didn't think a barren, dusty moon was the best place to set up a permanent residence. I needed to find a civilization to build close to. I didn't know if these alien races would see me as a threat, but I knew I couldn't survive this universe entirely on my own. I remembered seeing a desert planet from orbit above Necastr C44. I decided I would head there next and see if I could finally find some kind of intelligent life. Packing up the base computer and loading the reclaimed resources back into my suit, I prepared my ship for the next journey.